poured their souls into the success of this program and honor the seniors on Senior Day. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Oregon Ducks, taking on another team from the Big Ten, the Colorado Buffaloes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Ducks will kick it away first. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down to throw. He's going for it all. Catch inside the 25. Turns it on down the left side. Touchdown, Buffs! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Well, you could draw a line in the middle and he would have hit that thing. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Wants to throw on first down. Makes the catch. It's Hicks. At midfield, he's got room. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Ooh, that's a nice throw. Great accuracy there. And you think about Oregon quarterbacks, I know we think about guys running around a little bit, but think back to guys like Dan Fouts, A.J. Feely. How about that name? Joey Harrington, of course, Justin Herbert. These guys could thread the needle from the pocket, make all the throws. This guy here reminds me a little bit of them.
That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
Well, he does a really nice job buying time, and I love the awareness there, understanding no one's open downfield, knowing where the sticks are, and he's able to use his athleticism to get that first down.
And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Ducks!
Yeah, and coming into the game, you look at the stats, and you say top 10 offense in scoring, so they better be able to create what? Explosive plays, another explosive plays. They've been doing it all year long. Those plays are backbreakers. Defenses just can't contain this offense.
And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner will be knocked down. And the Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. That hole closed quickly, a pickup of 1 to the 15.
And these defensive tackles just eat people. They swallow human beings when you get near them. They're so big, so strong. When those guys, those running backs come in, they just need a mid. They put one mid on a running back, and he usually falls to the ground just because of their sheer mass and strength.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, the inside give. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Listen, guys, this is one of the top 10 passing offenses in the entire country. Maybe they're trying to catch the defense napping by going goal line and running the football. Not a lot of success on that last play. Hey, bud, get back to doing what you do best. Throw the ball.
Still looking, on the move. Now he'll turn one loose back to the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Well, the defense comes up with a huge play here in the first half. They did a great job getting the QB to move, and then they rallied to a football and an ill-advised throw. They come away with the takeaway, and their offense now is going to have the ball in the opponent's territory.
Got it in the middle. It's Hicks.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
The give to the back. Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down. The Ducks get a fresh set of downs with a fast, hard finish on that play.
Fast is the word. As long as I can remember watching Oregon football, it's always guys that can get the football, get downhill, get back in the line of scrimmage, run the next play really fast, but it always starts with the ground game.
And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
And the Ducks are rolling down the field. From the gun, running back gets to give. Pickup of one. It's down at the 11. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. Touchdown, Oregon! And they'll put that scoreboard operator to work and put 6 on the board. And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finish it with an 11-yard touchdown dart. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Running hard and getting 6 yards out to the 26.
I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
They give it to him again. Good, solid pickup on that one. They got it out to the 40, and it's first down.
Well, with the weapons this offense has, you knew it was just a matter of time in the run game before someone was going to break a long one. They'd just been running into a wall. They just couldn't seem to find their creases and get enough movement up front, but they finally got it there, picking up the first. Let's see what happens next.
Give to the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. They'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going for it all. Hits him inside the 20, still going. Touchdown, Buffaloes! A great catch and run for 6.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays, just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. The way this game started, you feel as if you have to score a touchdown every time you have it, and now we'll see if they can respond.
Yeah, and I wonder how much pressure that puts on the offense. Jesse, like, you know this is back and forth, and I got to score, and every possession matters so much. What does that do to you as a quarterback?
Well, it puts a lot more pressure on you for sure to feel like I got to make every third down throw. If guys are open vertically down the field, I got to hit them too. We can't let our serve get broken.
Back to pass, it's Daniels. They're bringing heat. Fires a bullet, now it's picked off. He'll try to take it back. Touchdown, Colorado! How about that D coming up with a play like that? What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
They're lining up to kick it off after the pick six, and that defense will come out feeling it. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what?
Off he goes. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete.
It's second down.
Didn't connect last time. Let's see if they throw it again on second down. They'll immediately call timeout.
Timeout, Oregon.
After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on second down. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Looking downfield, it's Daniels. Fires toward the end zone. And he's got it! Touchdown, Ducks!
Touchdown.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. Lining up for the PAT. Right down the boulevard. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. ULM looked less like a group of Warhawks and more like a bunch of road warriors in a solid victory. This team almost always plays tough in Monroe, and today they found a way outside of Malone Stadium. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. And the Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back.
Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. And that'll be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter on first down, but second down's coming up.
Man, what a rough start for this quarterback. Already throwing one interception, throwing another ball in harm's way. They got to find a way to settle him down a little bit, maybe give him some easier throws because his decision-making so far has not been good.
They'll go back to the air on second down. And here's a fumble way behind the line. Now the defense has got it going the other way. Touchdown, Oregon! And the defense doing work. What a play by the defense there. Loose football, country fumble, pick it up with room, scoop, and score.
No doubt, country versus city. When it's a country fumble, nobody around. I got to pick that puppy up and do some damage with it. Nice job seeing the situation, scooping it up, making a play.
And the extra point makes it a 28-21 score. The kickoff team just about set to go, and that defense is eager to get back out there after the scoop and score. On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. They'll try the run. Tried to move that pile forward. He maybe gets 2. He's down at the 21.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
The give from the gun. And he'll move his way forward to the first down. They'll mark it at the 35. And the Buffaloes come to the line in the hurry-up. Going up top on first down. Pressure coming. They get to him as he throws. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
You want to make a guy that's elite, that's one of the best in the business, start to become more and more human. Keep getting hits on him. Nice job by the defense, getting in his face, being physical. Make him feel your presence. Don't let him get comfortable back there in that pocket.
They'll run it from the gun. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. Still on his feet at the 45. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the first down at the 34-yard line.
The defense selling out to stop it on third and super short. They don't bring him down, Jesse. Next thing you know, he's in the second level.
You're absolutely right. Third and inches like that, if you just get a little crease offensively, it can be a big play. In the back that time, hit the hole and show off the speed.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Softened him up with a run, and now to throw. It's caught. He found his man and zipped it in there, and they've got a first down in the red zone at the 11.
That's the end of the first quarter. Oregon, 28. Colorado, 21.
They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
He wants to throw. Trying to get to it. And the Heat gets there. And they get him down at the 14-yard line.
How about this defense coming out aggressive on first down? They're in the red zone. They're like, no, we're going to take the fight to you. Now setting up a second down and long and putting them in a great position to be successful.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Bucks! And they take it in for 6 more points. All even up after that one. Basically a brand new game.
And with a tie, guess what? Back to the offense. Back to the offense. Which defense can get a stop? These offenses have been hungry.
All tied up and just about set to kick it away. Here's the return from inside his 10. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a rest.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, you've played a lot of plays, you get worn out, you need a chance to go decompress on the sideline, get some oxygen. Palmer, now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complementary football because it's a two-pronged problem. You've got to score points and answer, but you've also got to take your time and give your defense an opportunity to get their win.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Wide out in motion. Looking to go up top on 1st down. Got a man. It's Jean-Pierre. At the 45 on his way. Major gaps in that defense, and he got loose, and they finally knock him down at the 41. They've come out with answers on this possession, and now another 1st down. Looking to move it through the air. The sure hands. It's Hicks. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Miles ahead for a pickup of 1 to the 32.
I'll tell you, this is a running back who's very, very dangerous, and the defense did a good job getting him down there. But they got to do a great job game tackling because this is a guy that can break tackles and turn those types of plays into home runs.
Dropping back, it's Daniels. Going for it all. Right through his hands. He had a touchdown and just didn't look the ball in. It'll be 4th down.
Well, on 3rd and short and field goal range, they dial up the pass play. Quarterback was trying to get through his progressions. There was just simply nobody open. Couldn't make an accurate enough throw. The ball falls incomplete. Now setting up a big decision here on 4th down.
Would have been a makeable 49-yard field goal attempt, but they'd rather try to keep the ball and move it on 4th and short. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
You see more and more of this in college football. They hand it off in the jet sweep on short yardage. This time the defense was not fooled at all. They were locked in. Get the receiver to the ground. No 1st down for you.
And the Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. There wasn't much need to throw it around on that last drive for the touchdown, Jesse. They got it done running the ball.
And David, I don't think you have to overthink this thing. If they can't stop you running it, why would you stop handing it off? Just keep at it here on this drive.
Well, and if I'm the defense, I'm making some changes. I'm bringing in more big bodies. I'm playing more aggressive towards the line of scrimmage. I am not going to let them have that kind of drive again.
Let's see if they go back to the air on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Going for the big play. And he intercepts it. Going the other way, and he's got room. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Wide receiver shows motion. Give to the running back. Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on 1st down, make that 2nd down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
To the air, it's Daniels. Looking down the middle. Finds the big tight end. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. It's not just a dual threat guy. You go back to Dan Fouts or Bill Musgrave or even Justin Herbert, and passers not in short supply for the Ducks.
And when you think about the Ducks, you always think about the fancy uniforms. I think that's one of the first things that come to mind, but the guys you just named, it's been built on flash, but it's also been built on substance. Great players in their tradition, in their history, and just like now, just in the recent history, Bo Nix, another one of those guys that's put up big numbers.
You know, sometimes even a short gain like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
Great job creating space. That's what you're supposed to do. When you get man coverage, you got to find a way to get a step, make it easy for your quarterback to read that leverage. And when he drags across the field, he can see he had him. He completes it for the first down.
The aerial assault continues. And they got him. They'll get him down for the sack.
We're only in the first half already. This guy's got 2 TD passes, so you can see the defensive coaching staff on the sideline telling this D-line, guys, we got to get after this guy. We have to affect his rhythm and not let him be so comfortable back there. Right there, they were able to get after him. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term. He's taking the shot. And he throws another interception, his third one of the night. Taking it the other way. And he was finding space, and he took it all the way back to the 22.
Have a day, young fella. 2 interceptions already? That's 3, 4, 5, 6 games for some people. A hot start, catching the football. He's acting like he's playing wide receiver out there. I might think about trying a different DB.
He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Yeah, and you could see the running back, man. He was smelling the end zone. Nice cuts, nice job getting all the way down the field. And he gets so close to punching it in, and you could tell he wanted to, but pushed out of bounds at the 2. And guess what? First and goal from the 2, this offense will take it.
Your game on the play.
Got stopped on first down. They'll try it again from the 2. They'll run it left, looking for the end zone here. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Ducks! The offense did exactly what it needed to do, getting the ball in field position like that.
It's that killer mentality. You step on their throat, you keep your foot down. When you get opportunities like that, they are golden chances to put touchdowns on the board. The offense took care of business.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. No shot at a return. It's out of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And the Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
And now on second down for this offense. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. The give to the tailback. And they try the middle of this stout defense, and they rise to the challenge.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
This is where you make the money on the drives. Ball at the 30, it's third and short. Motion from the offense. Picks up the first down, still moving. He's up to 90 yards on the ground, and he has his eyes fixed on leading the nation in rushing. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we have ourselves a ball game, and they have a chance to take the lead here before the half. And the Buffaloes have it with a 1st and 10. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. Getting some heat. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
Back to work on 2nd and 10 from the 41 after that last incompletion. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Nice pickup there. Gets him the 1st down and sets him up at the 45-yard line. Clock stops momentarily for the 1st down. They'll hurry to the line. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. And man, oh man, he is in the dark tonight. His 4th interception. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
Pick in as many series now for this quarterback. But, David, I love the defense right now and the way they're reading and reacting to all these route concepts. I mean, they are all over these guys on the back end.
All over the field, making plays. Listen, you're supposed to see the quarterback break on the football. You've seen several breaks on the football. You're
going for it all. And the DB right with him to knock it away.
Well, I love the effort by the quarterback, right? Gets a little bit of pressure. He's able to scramble to his right, extend the play, and he tried to take a shot deep down the field, just not on the same page with his intended target.
Pocket start. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down. The 3rd down's coming up. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on 3rd down. Looking to throw, it's Daniels. Finds the tight end. He almost picked up the 1st down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. The offense with no intention to draw the defense off sides. They want to run on 4th down. What a good run there. He has enough for the 1st down. That conversion sets a tone, but that's also really part of their MO. They're going to go for it on 4th and short.
Yeah, it's a body blow, and it's demoralizing. It's a good point, Reese. When you go for it like that and you go get it, you're
looking for the end zone. Almost intercepted. They took a shot on 1st down and just about turned the thing over.
This defense is going to have to make some adjustments here at halftime because they have been taken advantage of deep down the field in the passing game. They've already given up 2 TD passes. That was almost number 3, and we're only in the 1st half.
Caught near the sideline, it's Russo. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a 1st down. He's going to pass. Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield. Touchdown, Oregon! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And it's now the 2nd time this wide receiver has scored. Another outstanding job with the route. Great job securing the catch.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. No chance to return that one. A booming kickoff out of the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
You've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Paul. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half.
Colorado.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. He's looking to throw. Quickly out to the tight end. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They've got it at the 41, 3rd and short, trying to keep the chains moving. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. Lets it fly deep downfield. Throw to the end zone. It's picked off. Got room on the return. And they come up with a big play to make sure no more points go on the board before the end of the half.
And how about that? That's the first INT for this guy. Like, he's gone all throughout this year, taking care of the football, making plays, really building trust with his offensive coordinator. First mistake. Hey, listen, put it behind you. You've had a great...
He's going to let one fly down the middle. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Sometimes as a quarterback, when you're feeling the rhythm and you're feeling yourself, you just want to keep taking shots, right? This guy's already thrown 3 touchdown passes. He saw a look he liked, decided to let her fly. Haven't seen a lot of balls falling complete, especially deep down the field. That one did, but I'd expect this guy to keep letting it go.
On 2nd down, he'll try to make the connection. He's got him this time. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. The magic bean is spinning out of control. Already over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah, they're being aggressive offensively, throwing the football, trying to take advantage of this defense on the back end. They've got their quarterback right now in a groove.
To throw, it's Daniels. He lofts one down the sideline. Throw into the end zone. It's picked off. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Buffaloes will kick it away to crank up the second half. Fair catch called for and made. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. As they get ready to start this 3rd quarter, think how big the lead might be if they'd taken care of the ball.
Well, the game might be over, Reese, but if you're on defense right now, you've gotten a couple turnovers early, and you're saying, okay, we're going to need to keep this up. We got to stay aggressive for us to have a chance to win this game, but we believe we can do it.
Yeah, you've already done it, so of course you're going to believe it.
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. So now they're staring at a 2nd and long from their 20. He's looking to throw. Feeling some heat. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
And finally, you're seeing some life from the defense. They've been struggling all game long up to this point, but back-to-back sacks on 2 consecutive plays, they're at least still...
He'll loft one deep down the left side. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. The Ducks will try to pin them back with the punt. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. And this one will be marked dead just outside the 40-yard line. The Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part.
Incomplete.
Be a great player. You got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
And the defense at this point understands that the offense is going to have to try to throw the football, all right? They already got a lead, so they're now pinning their ears back and getting after this guy, trying to get him to the ground.
Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. That's caught. It's Williamson. They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the first down.
I like the mitts, the big fella coming in with the catch. Hey, running a little bit of a route, showing a little wiggle, getting open, throwing the football. Also going to catch it, big fella.
If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a third down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
Offense facing fourth down.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the third and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on fourth down. And the Buffaloes come to the line with a new set of downs. Takes the handoff. It's Daly. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. So he gets stuffed on first down, and now you have the offensive coordinator thinking a little bit.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to throw it now on this second play. But what are we going to see defensively? Now that they know we're throwing, might they blitz us? Do I have to leave more guys in to block? There's a real cat and mouse game going on right now between these two coaching staffs.
Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught! Touchdown, Buffaloes!
And it's not an accident. They're featuring this guy. His second receiving touchdown of the game. That's your job as a coach. Find my playmakers, get them the ball so they can do damage and have games like this right here.
The AT unit on the field. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. Miami is currently trailing, but if this young star leads a comeback today, he could join Vinny Testaverde and Gino Toretta in the pantheon of greats to play at the U. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to NC State. We've got our eye on this one and everything else going on throughout the day. Guys?
Thanks for the update on that one. Kevin, let us know when it goes final.
And you see so many smart wide receivers, so many smart tight ends nowadays that they know where the holes in those zones are, and they work with their quarterback, and they find them, and they sit down in them and make big plays. It's tough to sit back in zone against such smart players nowadays.
Back to pass, it's Daniels. It's complete on the right side. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker. This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Comes out throwing on first down. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little bit.
Couldn't connect on that last play. Now 2nd and 10 from the 42. They're going to throw it again. Coming after it. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was knocked loose, and 3rd down is coming. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. He looks that one in nicely. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. They've already gone for it a couple of times on 4th down, converted once. Looks as if they'll try a 3rd. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. And they gambled in their own end, turn it over on downs, and now the other offense is set up.
What a big stop for this defense in the second half. Around midfield, you can set your offense up for success right here on this drive by getting that big 4th down stop.
Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. Unleashes one deep. Falls incomplete, and he did everything perfectly except catch the football. 2nd down coming.
Oh, and the offense just not able to come up with that. You knew that was going to be a bang-bang play, right? They're taking a shot into the end zone. That's going to have to meet a contested catch on the back end, but he wasn't able to come up with it because of the hit.
From the gun to give, looking for room.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
This feels like 4 down territory, 3rd and short from the 40. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs.
Well, they needed 2 yards to get that 1st down. That's exactly what they got. Great job of execution.
No secret about it. Just got to be physical, get a hat on a hat, low man wins, all the cliches to get that 3rd down and short.
They'll throw it on 1st down. Fires deep toward the end zone. And swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity.
I don't blame the quarterback for taking that shot either, man. He's hooked up with this guy twice today for scores. Give him another try. They just couldn't get on the same page on that.
He wants to throw here on 2nd down. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly. 3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Extending the play. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the 1st down. And the Buffaloes want to pick up the tempo. Fast motion from the offense. They'll try to pick up the 1st. They wrestle him to the ground, but he's got money for a 1st down. From that spot on the field, it almost takes the decision out of it. You almost have to go for it.
Well, you think about what punting gives you. Punting, you could end up with 15, 20 yards. That would be awful. So you have to go for it. Put your offense on the field. Listen, these are the situations where you trust your offense. If you want to score a lot of points and you want to listen to analytics, you absolutely go for this.
Finds his big tight end. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. The running back has it. And he earns a 1st down, and boy, did he earn it after taking that lift.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the 1st down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I...
And you race it to the house. Touchdown, Colorado!
And the offense continues to run the football. The 2nd rushing touchdown from the running back. The offensive line paving holes continue to feed this this man the ball.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point was good. No incident there, and we are tied up in the third. So they started that drive barely into opponent's territory and went 48 yards. And he got into the house from the 6 to finish it. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time and put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance with this offense to really be productive. And last possession, they went for it. They rolled the dice, Palmer.
Got a lot of running room. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
As a defense, it's so hard covering this guy. Because of his frame, you're not really going to match up. But this guy's also got some wheels. The hard part is bringing him down after the catch. This guy's like a giant giraffe. You're just lions hanging on his neck trying to drag him to the ground. Not easy to do.
And a quick completion, an even quicker loss. The defense was right there to knock him down.
You know, you got to be careful as a QB throwing to your running back in man coverage. If there's a linebacker draped all over him, then that ball's not going anywhere. And you just saw it right there. Better play by the defense.
Line getting set on second down. Touch pass on the run. Inside the 15. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds.
This defense really needs to be careful, and they have to play with great eye discipline, understanding where the football is at all times. Moving forward, they have got to know if this guy has the ball, because he is dangerous in space.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Clock winds inside a minute to play here in the third. Looking downfield, it's Daniels. Lets it fly. He took a shot at the end zone, and he almost picked it off. It'll be third down.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds, and just on to the next down.
Fires to the wideout. And he throws another interception, his third of the night. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
Really nice job there by the defense, because I think they baited the QB into trying to fit that one in over the middle of the field. Remember, it's a big zone coverage. They've all got their eyes on him back there in the pocket, and they just let him feel like, maybe I can fit this football in. Not so fast. They come away with the pick.
Squeezes ahead for a couple. They'll get it out to the 9.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
On second down, wants to throw it. Trying to make magic with his feet. And they couldn't connect on the deep shot. Let's see if things get worse. There's a flag on the field. Which way is this going to go? This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on third and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Going back to the well, another deep ball. And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. Touchdown, Ducks! A great return for the touchdown. Any return for a touchdown is a great one to a defense. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught, don't get caught. And he didn't. The pick 6.
Hey, these guys can play offense, too. Now, look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back.
He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. one final play before the end of the quarter. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. They go to the ground. And they'll drag him down. That's likely the last play of the third quarter.
Second down coming up. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Oregon 49, Colorado 42.
Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. He's looking to throw. They're trying to get to him. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
And you're seeing the pass rush on the second play of the drive. They dial it up. Look at the speed and athleticism this defense has as they corral the quarterback for a loss.
Now facing a third and long. He's looking downfield to throw. Starting to feel a little pressure. Uncorks one to the middle. It's complete. A huge pickup.
How great is it to have a running back who can basically run your entire route tree? You don't see a lot of guys line up and then run vertically down the field, get open, and make a big play. This dude is special.
The Buffaloes have it with a 1st and 10. He's looking to throw it. They're bringing heat. Takes a hit as he fires. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Man, the defense smells blood in the water. You can tell. They're getting to this quarterback over and over and over. They've already sacked him a couple times. They're just winning up front. They almost got another sack on that last play.
And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
Yeah, another good run. I feel like we could put that on loop, Jesse. Just another good run, another good run, another good run. Over 150 yards on the day. He's been the complete package, showing off all his skills today.
Third down play from the gun. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
It's a one-score game late, and they've got to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Got the quick pass. Stop short of the marker, and they stop with this defense, and they get the ball back.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
Got enough for the 1st, and he's still going. He's loose down the left side. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Oregon! They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row. You know they love their track at Oregon, and when the gun goes off and he hits open field, he is headed to the tape, and he was burning by the time he hit the end zone.
And they've had guys year after year with serious track speed. They'll get to the small runs, lull you to sleep, and then boom, they make those big plays because they got big-time playmakers with speed at running back.
This will not be returnable as it sails out of the back of the end zone. And the Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. Quarterback will audible. Wide receiver now comes in motion. He'll come out throwing on 1st down. He'll let it go to the left. He's got it downfield for a huge gain. And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
A shot toward the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Buffs. That big score makes the end of this game very interesting. The
slowing down. The offense got what they need. More work to do, but you had to get this part accomplished first.
Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. Miami is just wearing one right now. That defense looks like me when I go to South Beach. Out of shape and badly burned. Hey, who's writing this stuff? They're trailing by 17 to NC State. We've got our eye on things here and everything else going on right now, and any updates, you'll see them here, guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. And now that cushion is a little bit smaller, Jesse, and any mistake would get magnified.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure now on this offense too, David. I think they got to go back to their playmakers and get these guys going in the game.
No doubt, find those plays you know you can run them in your sleep. You make sure you execute, build this lead a little bit bigger, put this thing away in the fourth quarter.
It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. Wide out in motion. They'll throw it on first down. He's got his man. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
Across the 25. Makes the stop at the 23-yard line, but it's a pickup of 15. A first down, and this offense is smelling the end zone. The Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wide receiver shows motion. To the air on first down. And it's intercepted. A huge fourth quarter play for this defense. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Let's go. Talk about leaving the door open. Yes, please. You think they might run the clock out, run the football consistently? No, sir. They put it in the air. We forced the interception. Great job.
Unloads it downfield. Got it in stride inside the 20. Touchdown, Buffaloes! And once he got away from the knee, they had no shot at catching it.
Big-time players make big plays in big games, man. It seems like each and every week when this guy has an opportunity in the end zone, he's coming up with the big one. That time, great job focusing and concentration. Defense not able to cover him. That's his now 10th receiving touchdown on the year.
And a little pressure, no problem. The extra point ties the game here in the fourth. We've got a dandy going here, all tied up in the fourth quarter and about to kick it away. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions, but I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
Back to throw, it's Daniels. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And this will be picked off. A costly turnover in a tie game. Bringing it back. Inside the 10. And the senior just snatched the ball out of the air and gave it back to his offense.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. It's the fourth quarter. It's a tie ball game. You need a stop. What an unbelievable job.
Oh, no, the ball popped out. And the defense has got it, and they're bringing it back.
You know, David, I like the play call in this situation of the game, putting it on the ground, trying to be physical, deep down in your opponent's territory, trying to break this tie and win the game, but, man, you've got to have better ball security.
Yeah, and you got to find a way defensively to make plays. And it doesn't matter how pretty it is, but they did it just that. Like, make a play late in the game, tie ball game, force a turnover, give your offense now a chance to go win this football game for you.
Pushes forward for 3 out to the 13.
And you know exactly what time it is when you get down here in the red zone. You got to be able to run the football, but when you got a back like this who punches the ball in the end zone consistently almost every single game, you are going to feed that animal the rock.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. Using his feet to buy time. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. The #1 job is to protect their quarterback, and they did not.
They did not. But my #1 job as a defensive lineman is to attack your quarterback and get him on the ground just like this, get in the sack, rattle this guy as much as you can, as many hits as possible on these quarterbacks.
Makes the catch. It's Russo. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down.
Well, we knew this quarterback could put up some monster numbers. He is putting on a clinic in this game. He now has over 400 yards passing.
Looking to pass. It's Daniels. Makes the grab over the middle.
Man, that quarterback knew that was a tiny window to throw into, and he just showed off his cannon of an arm.
The clock stops as we have reached the final 2 minutes of the game. Now on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He lobs one high down the left side. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. These fans stepping up to help this defense on 3rd down. Back to the air one more time. Finds his man. It's Russo. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down.
Nice poise by the quarterback. Here's a big 3rd down throw, and you want to push the ball vertically down the field, but if the defense takes it all away, check the ball down. Get it to your running back and let him go do the work and move the sticks for him.
And the Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Quickly to the tight end. Good pickup there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
They pick up the first down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like, because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job of those guys being on the same page there.
Trying to find his man on 1st down. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
This really has been a master class by the quarterback with decision-making, right? We've already seen him throw multiple touchdown passes in the game. He's understood when to take his shots and when to throw it away when things aren't there, like on that last play.
They've put this ball on lockdown. 8th play of the drive coming up. Back to throw, it's Daniels. Gets it out fast. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. With that last catch, he now breaks the 1,500-yard mark for his career.
And that's a pretty good accomplishment, man. Hitting 1,500 yards, that speaks to your consistency, your durability, and your playmaking ability, Palmer, to consistently make plays, because when you got those guys as a quarterback, you find them.
It's pretty nice. 1,500 yards, obviously a great number. The cool thing about him, though, he doesn't care about the stats. This guy just wants to win week in, week out. He's hungry, and he's made plays throughout his career.
The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page.
It's all tied up. This offensive line, they want the pressure. They want everything to go through them here. They're saying, look, let's just run the ball. Let's get this thing down closer and closer to the goal line. Let's bleed some clock. and put ourselves in a position to win.
Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Touchdown Ducks! And they've got the lead in the final minute.
And man, this game has been awesome. Some back and forth. Now you take the lead late. Nice job by the offense. And now you just need your defense to come through for you. One more time. One stop. Less than a minute remaining. Go out there, finish this thing off.
And he tacks on the extra point.
Colorado, 56.
Now that they have the lead, this kickoff unit has to stay in their lane, create some field position, and hand it over to the defense. No shot to return that one as he boomed it out of the back of the end zone. Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. Okay, one possession game. You've got some time to work with, but you have to make up some ground quickly, David.
Got to be smart. Can't throw in front of the sticks. Can't get tackled in front of the sticks. Make sure we're taking some shots down the field, chewing up some yards. Jesse, the defense will be vulnerable here.
Yeah, and I think because of that, David, offensively, you got to have a plan. You got to know where your best matchup is out on the perimeter and who can make the big catches here in small windows.
Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. He's looking for a man on second down. Zings it complete to the right. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. He would love to have picked up the first down there, but saving the timeouts, saving the clock, much more important right now.
And that could save the game because now I can work the middle of the field still. Now I can still take those shots deep. When I get without timeouts and those start to dwindle, I get very predictable. So great job getting out of bounds.
Now he's going to glide away from pressure. And this is going to be incomplete on third.
What a fantastic job by the defense that time, forcing the incompletion. They've got the lead late, setting up fourth down. Can they come up with one more stop? If they get it, they might win this game.
Trailing by a touchdown, getting late in the fourth, and this is a huge, perhaps a defining moment in this game. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Pressure coming. Working that left side now. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Timeout called by the offense. We have 18 seconds left. No time to waste here. They've got to get set and pick up chunk yardage. Wants to throw on first down. Trying, looking deep. And it's caught inside the 25. They get the timeout called. 11 seconds remaining to play. Big drive for this offense late, trying to tie the game. They've pieced together a couple of first downs, and here they come again. He'll take a shot. Throw to the end zone, picked off. Got some room to run. He's at the 40. Running inside the 20. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Oregon.
Dude, you're just thinking hold him to 3, make him kick a field goal, don't let him score points. Heck no, you turn it into offense. What a play. Catches the ball in the end zone. Take a knee. Take a knee. No, sir. I'm taking this thing all the way back 100 yards to the house. What a play.